forward. But I think the key thing here from this exercise of 69, 63, 62, 63 is that the entire collapse, right, was sentiment, right? And the large part of the recovery has been a recovering sentiment. So I think it is up to us right now to actually ensure that the positive sentiment persists and grows. I mean, you know, running a company, running a business, making money, they require work. I mean, they're not supposed to be easy. But I've always felt, certainly true of me, I think it's probably true of everybody, is that when you're in a good mood, you will be more successful than when you're in a bad mood. So please, I request all of you, one of the reasons I wear bright clothes, is everyone I meet smiles and says, oh, isn't that lovely? And if all of you would wear equally bright clothes, there'd be two benefits. One, to the world at large, that we would all be in a better mood and business will grow. The other to me personally, because it's very hard for me to find shirts, because no men wear shirts, very few men wear shirts like this. So two requests. One request, two impacts. So that's basically, what I feel has been the history, And what I feel about where will the rupee be, right? What is going to happen? My sense, and as I said, I don't like to give forecasts, but I believe that the range for the next 6-8 months will be between 58 and 64. And I'm intentionally using 58, slightly below 60, because, certainly when the rupee was south of 65, nobody was even looking at 60. But similarly, a year ago, when the rupee was at 50, nobody was looking at 60 either. And I think we have to understand that actually, one thing that's very good, we're not going to see this kind of collapse again, because everybody has seen it for what it is. So which is not to say the rupee will not weaken. I mean, dollar strengthens overseas, which is the big question. I don't know whether it will or not. The rupee could soften. There could be certain negative political issues that come up. I mean, there's, election coming around the corner. But in many senses, much of the negative news is in my view. So I believe that today I think we're at 62 or 63, so we're right in the middle of my range, maybe towards the soft side. And I would think that 58 to 64 is the range, which probably means that none of you are going to cover your imports again, and we may get into trouble, but who knows. So that's the story of the rupee. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jamal Mecklai, CEO Financial, Jamal Mecklai Financial. May I please request the President? Questions? Quickly, 2 questions, lucky people, first hands up. You get to introduce yourself, you get to talk to Jamal Mecklai, which is a highly paid other service advice, so don't lose it. Anybody coming up? Right, do we have a Nagaraj Mehta? Can we have a mic for Nagaraj Mehta from Transglass Consulting? Mic coming up for you, sir. And one more last question.
Sir, what is the expectation on current account deficit? How much the number will be by March 2014?
Frankly, everybody's throwing numbers around. I have no other information, And again, like I said, I think, one of the lines I wrote in one of my columns is that, and I mentioned it earlier, is that sentiment is much more important really than numbers. I mean, numbers are important, but let's say better sentiment is much more than a 1% cut in interest rates. So I don't know, it seems like what they're saying is they'll be able to manage it, so let's see. I don't think it's really a problem. Main thing is we've got to keep the game going. Right?
Yes, we have Mr. Godrej.
Jamal, you mentioned that it was good that the governor raised interest rates to fight inflation. But we just heard from Salman Varghese that we've had a huge global commodity boom. And India, unlike many other countries, the inflation is influenced by commodity prices and the exchange rate. So interest rates have no impact on controlling inflation, but they take away the vitamin G. So the way to control inflation in India is to control the currency rate, not interest rate. What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure. I fully understand that supply side is a big part of our issue, But I feel that, I'm not no economist, right? But people have said very celebrated people that inflation is always a monetary phenomenon. I think to some extent it is true. To some extent it is true. I think that a quarter point, right, is not that significant. You know, I mean, if you, Nadir, get your entire company to wear shirts like this tomorrow, that would be worth, I mean it facetiously, but I really don't, you know. So I'm saying that, right, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that I think that you can't, you know, that's when people talk about Volcker, it's a different economy, right? You don't crank interest rates continuously. But I think there's one more thing, there's the point of credibility, right? I mean, Rajan has to show that he's not going to let go, right? Because, you know, what I'm saying is there are many drivers of growth. It is not only the price of money. The price of money is a minor driver of growth. I mean, look at all the blocks we've got, you know. So you get those things going, you keep this tight. I mean, I don't think you're going to see interest rates going higher and higher, partly because I think commodity prices are down and I don't think they're going to be rising. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here with us. So we had two questions. We will take just one last question. The mic's coming around.
Yeah, Jamal, well done for your presentation. Excellent sense of humor. You know, a few months ago, we were all talking about the euro collapsing and Europe going nowhere. Suddenly, I find that euro is very strong. Nobody compares it with the dollar. But euro rupee is also very important to us. So can you guide me why the euro is so strong?
Hey, what do you say? See, I think euro rupee is not an issue. The issue is euro dollar. And frankly, you know, it's a very difficult question for me to answer because I have felt all along, last 3 years, that the dollar is going to strengthen and strengthen and strengthen. And I was correct to a point. Right now, literally in the last week, I'm beginning to question my belief, you know. So I don't know. I think the euro is something you have to look at separately. The good news is Europe seems to be coming back. I had felt that we need a much weaker euro for the euro to come back, but, you know, market does strange things. Main thing you got to do is really look at your risk and not try to make any judgments on the market, because we've all been burned by that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I please request the President of CA, Mr. Vijay Dana, to present a small memento on behalf of the organizers to Jamal Mecklai. Jamal, thank you for being here, making it so very colorful. You actually brightened our day today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're a little behind time. I must tell you that, you know, I cannot get weak as far as time management is concerned. A very big hand of applause. I'm bullish that we will make our schedule. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a short